Good morning, my dear students. As we have completed our chapter number 1 yesterday, for a detailed study of chapter 1 crop protection and management, you can refer to my last 3 videos that I have been uploaded. Okay, in this video, I am going to summarize the chapter. It will be beneficial for you to take it for your revision and a brief outlook of the chapter. So let's start now. Chapter number 1, crop production and management. First is, what is agriculture? Till 10,100 BC, people were nomadic. They were wandering in groups from place to place in search of food and shelter. They ate raw fruits and vegetables and started hunting for animals for food. Later, they could cultivate land and produce rice, wheat, and other food crops. Thus was born agriculture. The early human beings were food gatherers, they were not producers. Now, what is crop? When plants of the same kind are grown and cultivated at one place on a large scale, it is called a crop. What it is called? It is called a crop. For example, crop of wheat means that all the plants grown in a same field are that of wheat. Agricultural practices. You already know that crops are of different types like cereals, vegetables and fruits. These can be classified on the basis of the season in which they are grown. Despite this diversity, two broad cropping patterns can be identified. What are they? They are Kharif crops and Rabi crops. Kharif crops. The crops which are sown in the rainy season are called Kharif crops. The rainy season in India is generally from June to September. Paddy, maize, soybean, groundnut, cotton, etc. are Kharif crops. Rabi crops. The crops grown in the winter season are called Rabi crops. Their time period is generally from October to March. Examples of Rabi crops are wheat, gram, pea, mustard and linseed. Besides these, pulses and vegetables are grown during summer at many places. Basic practices of crop production. Basic practices of crop production includes preparation of soil, sowing, adding manure and fertilizers, irrigation, protecting from weeds, harvesting and storage. The first is preparation of soil. The preparation of soil is the first step before growing a crop. One of the most important tasks in agriculture is to turn the soil and loosen it. This allows the roots to penetrate deep into the soil. The loosened soil helps in the growth of earthworms and microbes present in the soil. These organisms are friends of the farmer since they further turn and loosen the soil and add humus to it. The preparation of soil is the process of loosening and turning of the soil is called tilling or plowing. What it is called? Tilling or plowing. This is done by using a plow. Plows are made of wood or iron. If the soil is very dry, it may need watering before plowing. The plowed field may have big pieces of soil called crumbs. It is necessary to break these crumbs with a plank. Before seeing the seeds, it is necessary to break soil to the size of grains to get a better yield. This is done with the help of various tools. The main tools used for this purpose are the plow, hoe and cultivator. What is plow? Plow is being used since ancient times for tilling the soil, adding fertilizers to the crop, removing the weeds and scraping off soil. It contains a strong triangular iron strip called plowshare. The main part of the plow is a long log of wood which is called a plow shaft. There is a handle at one end of the shaft. In the diagram here you can easily see it. Then hoe. Hoe is a simple tool which is used for removing weeds and for loosening the soil. It has a long rod of wood or iron. A strong, broad and bent plate of iron is fixed to one of its ends and works like a blade. It is pulled by animals. Cultivator. Nowadays, plowing is done by tractor-driven cultivator. The use of cultivator saves labor and time. Sowing. Sowing is the most important part of crop production. Before sowing, good quality of seeds are selected. Good quality seeds are clean and healthy seeds of a good variety. Farmers prefer to use seeds which give a high yield. Before sowing, one of the important tasks is to know about the tools used for sowing seeds. So what are the tools? Take a beaker and fill half of it with water. Put a handful of wheat seeds and stir well. Wait for some time. Through this activity, we can find that which type of seeds should be better to use for a crop production, better yield production. Are there seeds which float on water? Would those be lighter or heavier than those which sink? Why would they be lighter? Damaged seeds become hollow and are thus lighter. Therefore, they float on water. The question can come, why some of the seeds float on water? So what will be the answer? The answer will be that damaged seeds become hollow and they are lighter. Now, sowing of seeds. Traditional tools. The tools used traditionally for sowing seeds is shaped like a funnel. The seeds are filled into the funnel, passed down through 2 or 3 pipes having sharp ends. These ends pierce into the soil and place seeds there. The second equipment is seed drill. Nowadays, the seed drill is used for sowing with the help of tractors. This tool sows the seeds uniformly at proper distance and depth. It ensures that seeds get covered by the soil after sowing. This prevents damage caused by birds. Sowing by using a seed drill saves time and labor. Adding manure and fertilizers. It is the third step of agricultural practices. The substance which are added to the soil in the form of nutrients for the healthy growth of plants are called manure and fertilizers. It supplies mineral nutrients to the crop. These nutrients are essential for the growth of plants. Continuous growing of crops makes the soil poorer in certain nutrients. Therefore, farmers have to add manure to the fields to replenish the soil with nutrients. This process is called manuring. Impure, improper or insufficient manuring results in weak plants. What are fertilizers? Fertilizers are chemical substances which are rich in a particular nutrients. Fertilizers are produced in factories. The use of fertilizers has helped farmers to get better yield of crops such as wheat, paddy and maize. But excessive use of fertilizers has made the soil less fertile. Fertilizers have also become a source of water pollution. What are the advantages of manure? The organic manure is considered better than fertilizers. This is because it enhances the water holding capacity of the soil and it makes the soil porous, due to which exchange of gases becomes easy. it increases the number of friendly microbes and it also improves the texture of the soil. This activity we can do at our home also. Take moong or gram seeds and germinate them. Select 3 equal sized seedlings out of these. Now take 3 empty glasses or similar vessels. Mark them A, B and C. To glass A, add little amount of soil mixed with a little cow dung manure. In glass B, put the same amount of soil mixed with a little urea. Take the same amount of soil in glass C without adding anything. Now pour the same amount of water in each glass and plant the seedlings in them. Keep them in a safe place and water them daily. After 7 to 10 days, observe their growth. What will you observe? Did all the plants in all the glasses grow at the same pace? Which glass showed better growth of plants? In which glass was the growth fastest? You have to do this activity at your home and find the answers. Now, what are the differences between fertilizers and manure? Fertilizer is an inorganic salt while manure is a natural substance obtained by the decomposition of cattle dung, human waste and plant residues. Second, a fertilizer is prepared in factories while manure can be prepared in the fields. Third point, a fertilizer does not provide any humus to the soil while manure provides a lot of humus to the soil. Fourth point, fertilizers are very rich in plant nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium, while manure is relatively less rich in plant nutrients. The next step of agriculture practices is irrigation. All living beings need water to live. Water is important for proper growth and development of flowers, fruits and seeds of plant. Water is absorbed by the plant roots. Along with water, minerals and fertilizers are also absorbed. Plants contain nearly 90% of water. Water is essential because germination of seeds does not take place under dry conditions. What is the definition of irrigation? The supply of water to crops at different intervals is called irrigation. The time and frequency of irrigation varies from crop to crop, soil to soil and season to season. Now, the sources of irrigation. The sources of irrigation are wells, tube wells, ponds, lakes, rivers, dams and canals. Traditional methods of irrigation. The water available in wells, lakes and canals is lifted up by different methods in different regions for taking it to the fields. Cattle or human labor is used in these methods. So these methods are cheaper but less efficient. The various traditional ways are moat, chain pump, moat is also called pulley system. Pumps are commonly used for lifting water. Diesel, biogas, electricity and solar energy is used to run these pumps. Modern methods of irrigation includes first, sprinkler system. This system is more useful on the uneven land where sufficient water is not available. The perpendicular pipes having rotating nozzles on top are joined to the main pipeline at regular intervals when water is allowed to flow through the main pipe under pressure with the help of a pump. The second method is drip system. In this system, the water falls drop by drop just at the position of the roots. So it is called drip system. It is the best technique for watering fruit plants, gardens and trees. The system provides water to plants drop by drop. Water is not wasted at all. It is a boon in regions where availability of water is poor. The next step of agricultural practices is protection from weeds. In a field, many other undesirable plants may grow naturally along with the crop. These undesirable plants are called weeds. The removal of weeds is called weeding. Weeding is necessary since weeds compete with the crop plants for water, nutrients, space and light. Thus they affect the growth of the crop. Tilling before sowing of crops helps in uprooting and killing of weeds, which may then dry up and get mixed with the soil. Weeds are also controlled by using certain chemicals called weedicides like 2,4-D. These are sprayed in the fields to kill the weeds. They do not damage the crops. The weedicides are diluted with water to the extent required and sprayed in the fields with a sprayer. The next step when the crop is matured is harvesting. Harvesting of a crop is an important task. The cutting of crop after it is mature is called harvesting. In harvesting, crops are pulled out or cut close to the ground. It usually takes 3 to 4 months for a cereal crop to mature. Harvesting in our country is either done manually or by sickle by a machine called harvester. In the harvested crop, the grain seeds need to be separated from the chaff. This process is called threshing. What is this process called? This process is called threshing. Harvesting is carried out with the help of a machine called combine. Farmers with small holdings of land do the separation of grain and chaff by winnowing. The last step is storage. Storage of produce is an important task. If the crop grains are to be kept for longer time, they should be safe from moisture, insects, rats and microorganisms. The fresh crop has more moisture. If freshly harvested grains are stored without drying, they may get spoiled or attacked by organisms, losing their germination capacity. Farmers store grains in jute bags or metallic bins. However, large-scale storage of grains is done in silos and granaries to protect them from pests like rats and insects. Dried neem leaves are used for storing food grains at home. For storing large quantities of grains in big godowns, specific chemical treatments are required to protect them from pests and microorganisms. This activity you can do at your home. You have to make the following table in your notebook and then complete it. You have to find out that which type of food is obtained from the what type of resources. Fine. After completing this table, you must have seen that like plants, animals also provide us with different kinds of food. Many people living in the coastal areas consume fish as a major part of their diet. Animals reared at home or in farms have to be provided with proper food, shelter and care. When this is done on a large scale, it is called animal husbandry. Now, at last, I think you all are able to understand about the agricultural practices that includes rabi crops, seeds, silo, sowing, storage, threshing, weeds, weedicide, winnowing, animal husbandry, crop, fertilizers, granaries, harvesting, irrigation, kharif crops, manure and plough. So I think in this way you have revised your chapter. If you want a detailed study of the chapter 1 crop production and management, refer to my previous 3 videos and then refer this video for your revision. Okay, so have a nice day and bye.